So try to get what you want. Do you struggle to get what you want? You fight but intensely. Do you settle? Okay, you can negotiate. You accept what is offered, but try to negotiate. Do you surrender quickly? You just accept what is available without
Mm, you struggle. Even yes, yes, words of to share to surrender quickly. Sure. Mm-mm. What is the difference between the first and the second? Mm. To throw.
Mickey, are you back? Mitch, are you back? I'm back.
Hey, teacher.
Sure.
Oh, but sometimes the electricity goes off, and it has had some problems here in the colony, here in Pueblito Lindo. I don't know if you have had any similar problems. It has been bad for some reason.
Yeah.
But well, we're back.
Yeah, sometimes.
We were talking about the four different. Yeah, yeah, that happens. Okay, well, we haven't had. We've been trying to. We have four situations, right? You strive, you struggle, you settle, you surrender. Uh, which situations merit each of the following options? In what situations you have been, Mickey, Mitch, that you do number one? In what situations you
Um,
have been that you do number two? In what? Yeah, Mitch.
what is the difference between the first and the second?
You strive is you make a big effort. You
Uh-huh.
struggle is that you fight. I'm sorry, not. I'm sorry. No, it's not too intensely. You struggle, yeah, but not too intensely. You struggle. You make an effort, but not too strong as when you strive. It's like a difference in
Okay.
intensity.
Mm-hmm.
You still make an effort, but not extremely intense. You struggle. You settle. Okay, let's settle for this. You accept but you try to negotiate. You try to get something in exchange. And the last one, surrender. Well, okay, whatever, I take it. You give up quickly and with no effort, no resistance. So the question is, in what situations you do one, in what situations you do two, three, or four? Mitch, Mickey.
Mm, could be on I strap when I want to clarify the truth of the facts because there's the cases that the people is chatting and they misconfuse some things and they got gossips that were not true. And if I know the truth of the successes, I want to make them see the truth, the real. Um, I'm a struggle. I'm a struggle when I wanted to change a teacher of my career that I know that they don't do their best effort or their best in order for their teachers, and
Yeah.
well, I don't care at the end so much because well, if they are just giving us the basis, then I have to search for myself to really learn. Um, I settle the negotiation when people give me a price, but I think with all the respect that they deserve, that it's not an accurate price, and maybe we can negotiate a better price for that object. And I surrender quickly mm, 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 when I have to accept something that really, how can I say, me conviene?
It's for my benefit.
It is for my benefit.
Very interesting. Very interesting, Mitch. Thank you very much. Okay, let me ask the same question to Mickey, please. Mickey, what do you think? When do you strive for something? When do you struggle? And when do you settle for something? And when do you surrender without fight? No fight. Yes. Okay. Yes. I take it. I accept it. Please.
Mm, well, obviously there are so many cases, but one case that came to my mind is the moment that I strive to improve my grades in the school. Uh, in in the university, obviously, I have a scholarship, and I needed a, how do you say it? It's an average, but I don't know if it's a specific word in the
A
circle.
minimum
Maybe on,
average. No, you have a minimum
yes.
average, which is 8 or 8.5 or 9. I don't know.
Yeah, I need to have 8.5, I think so. And and I remember that one partially wasn't my best partial. So the last partial I strive to get a better grades in general, and at the end I could reach the 8.5.
Wow. Okay.
Mm, one moment that I struggle, um, mm, I would say that I struggled sometimes in the gym. For example, when I'm trying to lift something that is, uh, how do you say, uh,
Too
heavier?
heavy?
Yeah, right. Yeah, too heavy. Sometimes, obviously, I try to to reach a new goal in certain exercise, but I can notice when it's exaggerated for me or exaggerated for that moment. So I struggle, but not too much. So I put myself a limit.
Okay. When do you surrender? If you ever surrender or you settle, when do you settle and when do you surrender for something?
Mm, uh, I'm thinking.
For example, when there is too much bargaining with a client, the client tell you tell a client, okay, Mickey, let's do the
Mm,
tennis shoes,
yeah.
and you say, okay, 4,000. Oh no, Mickey, how 4,000? That's too expensive. I will give you 3,500. And you say, no, 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 4,000. No, I can give you no more than 3,500. And then you say, well, let's do 3,750. Let's settle for that. You make an agreement, but
Mhm.
you try to negotiate. Do you ever do
Yeah.
that?
Yes, of
Yes.
course. Not so many times, but yes.
Sometimes you
Mm.
settle for a price. What
Hmm.
are the things you settle for? What are the things? For example, um, for permits to go out, or maybe for businesses, for grades with a teacher. Where do you settle, Mickey, Mitch? Where do you settle?
Mm. I remember. The last semester I had a problem with one teacher because he thought that I was permitting that my classmate copy my exam, but actually uh, I didn't notice that he was copying, and
Oh.
at the end the teacher took my exam and canceled my exam. So yeah, and it was in the in the third partial.
Jeez.
At the end, I was chatting with him, and I said that I didn't notice that he was copying me, or if was copying me. But at the end, he didn't cancel my exam, but only he take the value of the answers that I had respond, and the other uh, questions that I didn't answer. Obviously, they he didn't let me finish my exam. So mhm.
You
Wow.
have to fight back.
I I had a good average. So it was like, well, I don't like to stress, and so
Right.
I left it
What
for
what
the peace.
class? What class was that?
Uh, how can I say this? Uh, Laboral relations, job
Oh,
relationships. I don't know. Relaciones laborales.
yeah, labor relationships. Yes.
Labor.
Oh, okay. Believe it or not, but I taught that class long time ago at Instituto under
Oh,
the
really?
coordination of what Araceli, I think. She was director back then. Araceli what? See
Araceli.
some. What was her family name? A lady with curly hair.
Hmm.
She was the
I
director.
actually think that she is the director now too.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. Nice person, nice person. A bit strict, and I think.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. Let's leave it there. Let's leave it there. Okay, Mitch told gesture, but I believe herself and many other directors 15 years ago got a strong support from your dad, because your dad has been in the Instituto for years, for ages.
Yes.
So they all match, which is very good. So they all grew under the shadow of your dad, which is a good thing. It's a positive thing. Now they are all directors, coordinators, this and that, and that's nice because people have grown at Instituto, which is a great institution. But well, okay, let's not get too much into the gossip today. Let's do that for later. All right. But well, we have these four situations. strive, struggle, settle, and surrender. They all start with S, curiously enough. And that shows a lot about the personality of people.
Teacher,
So, yes, Mitch,
call you with me for a minute?
absolutely, yes, take your time.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, I wanted to share an issue with you, Mickey and Mitch, today, uh, which has been triggering my curiosity. This has been a second case of another school in Irapuato, which the same as Instituto, they grew up in classrooms of a house, then in another classroom of another house, and so on. So they started having primary school in one house, junior high in another house. They got a good partner, built huge installations, and now they have doubled their tuition, not the tuition, their number of students. What do you think of institutions like this, Mickey? How have they managed to grow, to become successful, to be good in not two generations or three, but in just one a few years? How can that be in terms of business? And I'm talking about Instituto and this other school, which is the one I'm working for now. Where do you attribute the success? Where do you think the success is?
Mm, Probably the islands.
The
Obviously, the
what?
islands between uh, Alianza. How do you say, teacher?
The what? What?
Uh, Alianza.
Alliance. Okay. The alliance.
Yeah,
Oh, could be.
yeah,
They have
probably
a good. Uh,
the alliance mm, and the contacts that each person could have, instituto and the other person.
could well be because at one time, yeah, those alliances are very important. To find a good partner has been decisive in these two cases. Decisive, decisive, this. How do you spell decisive?
Mm,
Decisive. Okay, has been decisive. Both cases of these two schools, they found the right alliances. In the case of Instituto, even Mr. Servitje gave them a strong hand. You know that?
ah, no, I don't know that.
With the laboratories and many other uh, issues. You know who Mr. Servitje is or was, right? He was the Bimbo owner. Did you know that?
Yes, teacher. Lorenzo Servidje.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
He was the first director of Bimbo, and I think then his son and those people, yes. And you know Javier and Susana and Gisela Cuen, right?
Well, I heard of them, but I never. I don't think so. Probably yes, but I don't remember. Meet them.
I'm sure that if you see her, you're gonna know who she is. Uh, I have seen. I have been in at Instituto chatting with your dad, and suddenly
Mm-hmm.
Gisela arrives and says hello to me and hello to Miguel, your dad. So he knows her very well, Gisela Cuen. So her dad used to be the manager of this company in Irapuato, Bimbo, and they had a
Oh,
good connection with Mr. Servitje, who
mhm.
was the owner of Bimbo. So he gave them lots of help with the laboratories, with this, with that. He was a man for good, a really good man, Mr. Servitje. And Mr. Cuen was an absolutely fantastic person. And he was a protege of Mr. Servitje. So they gave him every opportunity to grow and develop the school there. So it's really nice to notice that you make good alliances and you get good profit of it. So
Of course.
something very similar just happened with this other school where I'm working now, which is the Jean Piaget. The current owner is a very sweet and smart lady. She found an alliance, an ally, and this ally, I don't know who this person is, but has provided a beautiful piece of land. The installations are just fantastic. They have the school is immaculate, really, really clean, organized, very, very attractive. They're going to start a high school. They only have primary and secondary school. Another start with a junior high, with high school. And if they doubled the number of students from 300 to 600, you can only imagine what's going to happen when they have the high school. They went from 300 to 600. What do you think of this, Mickey?
Well, it's a huge difference. Is the actually it's the double.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah, well, it's
I was
fantastic.
making
Obviously,
numbers.
when you sorry, teacher.
No, no,
I
no.
don't know,
Say,
but
go on, go on.
I don't know if it's my internet, but sometimes I couldn't hear you very well, and I confused my ideas too.
No, don't
I don't know,
worry.
probably it's my internet. I'm not sure.
I don't know, but I'm sure mine is not being very good today. Has had some faults today, my internet.
Ah, okay.
But well, I was just making numbers really quick. What would you like to be a good profit per student per month? I don't know what the tuition is. It goes from 1,600 up to 3,500. The tuition in primary school and junior high. The tuition. Do you think that a profit of 500 pesos is reasonable per month per student per month? Do you think?
Using the example of Instituto and Jempijet.
No, jump is yet. Yeah. Do you think
Mm,
profit of 500 pesos per student is reasonable? You say, well, they're making a profit of 500 pesos per student. Do you think something reasonable, not too exaggerated?
Yes.
a
Yes.
month.
Well, so Mitch, make calculation. What is, please, 600 times? I'm sorry, 500 times 300, 600 students per month. What is that?
Mm, uh, thir- 30,000?
300,000.
No, 300,000.
Uh,
300,000 per month. That's the profit.
mm,
What do you think? Is good or
it's
bad
very good.
money?
It's
Good
very
money,
good.
right?
Hmm.
It's very good. It's amazing. Yes. And I believe there are two partners. Two partners. How would you divide this profit if you were with a partner? Do you think, would you split it 50-50, 60-40, 70-30?
Probably. Well, I don't know. I think that depending of so many things. For example, depending of the money that each person invests or each family invests, and
Hmm.
I don't know. Probably 50-50 if it's the same quantity of money or if it's the same effort between them.
Well, one person puts the money or the land, and the other person puts the logistics, the know-how, the expertise. Because managing a school is not something too easy. You see, you need to be very strict, very organized, very unique in the way you do things. There are lots of logistic subtleties that you want to do very, very well. Even delivering the kids. Look, they do something which I don't know. I don't think they did this in in Instituto. Every teacher during recess has to be in a strategic position for 15 minutes to look after the kids. So, for example, let's say that Mitch, you and I are teachers. Well, you have to be in one corner. Mitch has to be in the other corner, and I need to be in the other corner supervising the kids during recess.
Hmm.
That keeps everything under control. We are responsible that the kids don't leave a mess or dirty the yard where they are playing. So they put a lot of responsibilities on the teachers too, but the school is immaculate, really clean, really organized, incredibly pretty. Just like more or less like Instituto. Maybe not this infrastructure that Instituto has, but it's really pretty. And it's not that I'm making a commercial, but let's say that they make a 50-50 partnership. So every person is making 150,000 pesos per month profit. It's almost half a car, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the same as the Instituto, they started in house classrooms. They had a classroom in one house for first grade. In another room of the house, they had second grade and third grade. In the house in front of it, they had the high school or junior high. And then one day they found a good partner, and they make this great institution now, which is now. But the origin was very humble, as the same as in the Instituto Irapuato, right? So, what do you think of these alliances? People say that alliances are bad, but I think that's a stereotype, doesn't have to be very true all the time. So Mitch says that alliances count. What do you think of this concept, Mitch? Alliances.
Mm, it's like make a team, right? We want something similar. Let's fuse forces.
Fuse forces. I love that concept. Fusing forces, fusing or merging, which is exactly the same. Forces. Well, I love this concept. How could we use this for our own benefit? Is that possible? How would we do it? Who would we ally with? Who or with whom would we ally? With whom would we ever ally? When and how and for what purpose? Let's respond this question, please. With whom would we ever ally? Would we ever ally? When and how and for what purpose? Of course, we can decide to go on our own, right? You can decide, well, I want to build my own enterprise like Bill Gates. I'm going to be by myself. I'm going to make no fuses or no mergers. I will not connect with anyone and I will be fine. And that's possible. There are many cases like that. Elon Musk, for example, I think he's alone, right, Mickey, by himself.
Yeah.
Uh, Carlitos Slim, I think. Well, we don't know if Carlos Salinas is behind him, but in theory, he's by himself. But there are many other alliances like Hewlett and Packard, right? Hewlett and Packard. This is an alliance. I believe Sony is an alliance. Um, so there are individuals like who's the owner of Walmart?
Mm,
Sam Walton,
yes.
with Walmart. That's why Walton, right? Because of Walmart. Walmart because of Walton. And there are people like Hewlett Packard. What do you think of these concepts in terms of business? Alliance or sole proprietorship? I'm going to write the two concepts here. Alliance, or like Mitch says correctly, fuses or mergers. It's the same thing. We make synergy. Three things are the same. Or sole, sole proprietorship. Um, proprietorship. Proprietorship. Okay. What do you think of these two concepts, Mitch?
Hmm. So, could you explain me again a little about sole proprietorship?
There is just one owner, only you. You are the
Oh,
only owner. You are the boss, and that's it.
well,
Like Bill
uh,
Gates.
it is like you have to administrate everything in your in all the areas to see the good functioning of everything in your in your company.
Yeah, but how do you get the expertise? How do you become an expert in production, in marketing, in operations, in logistics, in sales, in finance? I mean, it's
Mm,
possible. Maybe you have the
yes.
talent. Maybe your business is not extremely complex and you can do it. If you have a bakery, if you have a small business, if you have a, I mean, Bill Gates did it. So, and he's the wealthiest man on earth, along with Carlos Slim, maybe. So it's not impossible. But what do you think about it?
Well, it's like you have to, well, in some way you have to learn all the things. We don't born with that talents. We have to develop them in some way. Maybe the those famous and successful uh,
Businessman?
businessmen learn the all that they know for somewhere by the experience in other jobs that they had, and could I think it could be anyone, but it's really a good effort.
Okay. Thank you. Very, very good comment, Mitch. Actually, very, very good analysis. What do you think, Mickey?
Mm, doing which is better or what is better?
Not well. Maybe a little bit of that. But what is your opinion? What do you think of alliances? What do you think of sole proprietorships? What cases have you seen which are successful? I'm sure that you know a little bit about Elon Musk. You know a little bit about Bill Gates. You know a little bit of, well, Apple was developed by, what's the name of this kid, this guy, very smart.
Steve Jobs.
What's Steve Jobs? But then he created a company. Then he was expelled from his own company. Remember?
Yeah, yeah.
So he created this company, and then he was expelled from it. Well, but that's a strange case. Then you have Carlos Slim, but you have other companies like Hewlett Packard. You have mega companies like Toyota. You have Mitsubishi. You have General Electric. You have General Motors, which are corporations that belong not to one person but to a corporate, to a board of directors. What is your opinion about one? What's your opinion about the other one? Because there are different issues, right? You have sole proprietorship, which is the last one here. Sole proprietorship, just one owner, or you have a corporation where there are 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, 50 owners. What's your idea of one? What's your idea of the other one? Which one do you sympathize with more?
Well, it's a good question. For example, there are so many cases of success in sole proprietorship and with alliances. But at the end, I think that depending too of what is the activity that the enterprise do. For example, if you have an idea and if you start to develop, like Steve Jobs, he was the founder of Apple, and at the end, well, we know the story,
Yes.
but
Mhm.
sometimes more than who is the owner of, if it's better to have more of, or more than two owners. Uh, I would say that it's necessary to have like a group of people with the same thought uh, than you, and because you can create more ideas and you can be more creative. So if I want to choose one, probably I would say a corporation. Apart of that, I think that if you
Okay.
have partners or people in the same level that uh, you could like divide the responsibility, so not all the responsibility is in your shoulders.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, it can be Mickey or Mitch Incorporated, or the name of the company, and you can have tutors or advisors, external advisors. That way, you would have an advisor or a tutor, not tutor, advisors, people who are experts on a specific topic, on finance, marketing, engineering, development, whatever, and they give you advice. But they are not part of the company. They are external advisors. So you create your software company, you create your marketing company, you create your trading company, you have international trade, you ship tequila, you ship avocados, you sell machinery from Mexico to the US to Guatemala to Central America to South America. You sell coffee, you sell honey to Germany, you sell whatever you want, software, right? Mitch develops her software and starts to sell it in Spanish to South America and Central America, then in English to the US, Canada, and Belize, etc. But then if you have that concept, you would say, well, I need capital, or I need knowledge, or I need expertise, or I need something, right? It's difficult that we have everything at hand immediately. So you say, well, maybe I get a partner. Maybe I get my dad or my mom or my uncle, right, to be advisors or to be partners or to be something or to be or friends or whoever, right? And you develop your idea of a corporation, and that could really work. Or you make them part of the business, or you make them advisors, external advisors. And both models are okay, but like Mickey says, which I fully agree, that depends on the vision of the company. Vision. Vision, which is a very used word. Now, in every course on any school, they talk about the mission, the vision, the values. Okay. Yeah, but in reality, when we talk about this, which we have seen this a number of times in every single school, in every single level, professional master's degree, and but in reality, it is not a bad thing. And even if it's been repeated over and over and over, it really means what you want to do, right? And sometimes it's not very clear. Sometimes the values change, sometimes the vision changes, and sometimes the mission changes as well. For example, in the case
Yeah,
of our school, we teach people so that they get the better positions in the companies because they got tired. For example, many of our students are students from ITESI, and they complained that the managerial positions were given to guys from Peru, from Chile, from South Americans. And they say, I'm very upset because the manager of my company is a guy from Peru. Imagine. How can that be? I thought, well, what is the reason? Well, he speaks English. And you? No, I don't. Okay, so
Hmm.
I mean, they choose the people who can do the job, right? So we developed a mission in which we wanted the people from Mexico to have the better jobs in the companies. Of course, now we're planning to change that mission to something different. But everyone should develop their own mission. And then when you talk about your vision, what do you expect to be, or what do you expect to do in 5 or 10 years, or 15 years, or 30 years? That depends on a person. And then you have the values too. Have you ever thought of these three concepts in a personal way, Mitch, Mickey? What really means for you? What is it that you want to do?
Uh, yes. Well, I think in any job, in any enterprise, and their on ourselves, well, they going to see if we have these three things: mission, vision, and values. They're going to um, evaluate us,
Yeah,
and
evaluate
it's
us.
something that really construct the people, their own human. Is something that really grow, will help us all grow as a person, really know what we want and what we're going to get with our effort and with our own personality. And well, yes.
Okay. Well, probably for some people, their mission, vision, and values are very personal, very intimate, very private, but not for everyone. Some of them uh, publicize them, and they even create a logo, and they even have a slogan, which is the very, very basics of what people should slogan, right? Have you ever thought of this for a future company or a present company, in your case, Mickey, that you are doing trades and you are selling and exporting to? Have you completed this yet?
Well, I did it, but in my school, not in in a company that I want to create, but we use it in so many examples. For example, the last time it was for a project. Um, uh, in our project, suppose that we need to export avocado to US for the Super Bowl.
Ah,
So
okay.
we need to create a yeah, like a plan, and in the plan, uh, it was we need to put it our mission, or vision, or values. We need to design the logo. We need to design a slogan too, and I think that is something good because you can realize of the so many aspects that you need to feel in the moment that you need to export something, or in the moment that you want to start in international trade.
Yeah. And that's a way not only to give you certainty to yourself, but also it gives certainty to the clients. When they do business for the first time with a client, with a supplier, they normally find out who he or she is, right? Or they the first thing they do is Mickey Trading. They're gonna say, um, I'm just inventing the name, of course. Mickey Trading Incorporated. Well, Mickey Trading, who is that? Okay, let's Google him.
Mhm.
So they go to Google, right? Or the Mickey International Trading, or whatever, right? And then they see your web page, or they see your Facebook web page, or your whatever, Instagram, I don't know. And they say, "Oh, look, he is he's a young man because he's an entrepreneur that's starting to trade tennis shoes and maybe other items. Well, let's look at him." And they look for a Yahoo, no, for a Google, no, for a what's this? YouTube profile. And they see a presentation where you say, "Hello, I'm Mickey. I'm from Irapuato, and I do exports of tennis shoes and this and that and that. Uh, Welcome to my page. I give you two, three references, people who can tell you about me, success stories, and this and that. By the way, have a sister who's a great designer for software and this, and that,
Hmm.
right? Uh, so you make free publicity too, right? Well, I'm just joking a little bit, but in reality, you generate an image, people see you, and people develop trust. And developing trust, you have 90% of the business with you. If you develop trust, uh,
Yeah.
probably you already have it. So I'm not saying that, Mickey, you need to do, I'm not saying that, Mickey, you need to do this. No, I'm saying that all these elements, we take them for granted. In other words, we take them for granted, like a guarantee. Okay, well, that's evident that I already have this, but sometimes we don't have them. We do them for the school, but we don't do them for ourselves, and they work in our favor. What do you think of this, Mickey?
We take them for what means granted.
Like you said,
Granted, garantizado.
Oh,
sometimes we take granted that people trust in us, or that people gonna trust in our work, but there are so many types of people, and there are so many types of thinking too. So I think that the key to sell something or to start a business is first of all create a trust between you and the client.
Yeah, and what is one of the many ways? Of course, if they take the phone and call you, immediately in 2 minutes they're gonna develop this trust in Mitch or in you. They're gonna say, "Oh, look, these are very good people, trustworthy." But what if they are shy, or if they don't have the time to call, or if they're in a hurry and they just, I'm gonna take a look at their mission. Oh, look, then they develop some interest, and after the interest, they develop some research, and after that, they develop trust. What do you think of that, Mickey?
well, I think to convince people to buy our products or our service in this case, we have to show the security and demonstrate what are we talking about and if that really going to benefit the client. Uh, yes, we have to know how to relationate with people in first time and really convince them. Uh, it could sound very difficult at first sight, but I think for the practice, we can we can find the best way.
Absolutely. We find the way out. Okay, very good. Absolutely, totally agree with you, Mitch. Thank you very much. Mickey, what do you think?
Uh, yes, to create trust to our clients. First of all, I think that it's necessary to know what are you selling, because if you don't know uh, your product, uh, how can you sell it, right? So I think
Of
that it's necessary
course.
to know your product. Uh, there are so many ways to sell. I know that there are people who try to always, uh, how can I say this, insist. Yeah,
Yeah,
and there are people that are more calm. So I think that depending too of the product that you're selling is a type of of way of selling that you're gonna use. So for the same, know your product and then you decide what is better. And never lies. I think that is the key, because when you lie on something, one cell that you're making probably cool down, or could, how can I say this,
yeah, can
could not
spoil the
be
sale.
affected or something. Yeah. Uh-huh.
If we lie, we can spoil the sale.
Mhm.
Spoil
Yeah,
the sale.
and you spoil the sale and you spoil a client. And there is a saying in the U.S. which a friend of mine told me once. He was a fantastic mentor of mine when I was in Siemens. He told me, if you ever kill one bird, in reality, you are killing 1,000 birds. What do you think of this phrase, Mitch, Mickey?
It is like a chain effect, like
Exactly.
dominance effect. Uh-huh.
Dominoes effect. That's what it is. Dominoes effect. Because the person that you are cheating on, or that you are doing a bad service, is gonna tell 10 people at least, "Hey, look, don't make deals with them because they won't comply their promises."
Yeah,
But on the contrary, let's say, "Oh, did you know about Mickey's business or Mitch's business?" Yeah, they're right on the spot. They're good, reliable, trustworthy people, very, very honest, very serious in their business. Oh yeah, no, do business with them. Of course, no, give me their phone number. Okay, so they recommend your business. So you don't want to kill one bird because you kill 1,000 birds. That's what Mitch says is the dominoes effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely true. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Okay. Well, I love this concept really, and I'm very excited to see young people like you guys go ahead and develop your ideas, develop your businesses. Your can be maybe well, as you know, sometimes it's good to work for a company where you learn a lot of things for free. You even make money, and you know the structure, the relationships of production, engineering, delivery, shipment, logistics, purchasing, etc. And sometimes you start from scratch, or you can combine. But at the end, what we all want is to carry out our dreams, right? So just continue with our constant efforts, uh, making sure that Mitch's concept of dominoes effect works on our benefit, that people start recommending us with a dominoes effect for the positive side. Is it not true, Mitch?
mm, dominance effect to benefit us.
Yes, to give you benefit. It's also possible, right?
Yes, could be something similar that you said that if we did something well, that client going to talk good about us.
Absolutely, yeah. Do good and people will recommend you. Do something good, do something good and do it well, and do it well, and people will recommend you. That's what they say, um, word of mouth, word of mouth, right? It goes, the publicity goes the boca en boca, word of
Mhm.
mouth. That's the best publicity, and it's free also. So I don't know if you ever make an analysis, Mickey, of your business, and you say how many clients come to you because somebody gave a good reference, or because you made publicity in the networks. You have like a balance and a survey about that. Survey about your clientele. How many come?
Uh,
What percentage come from word of mouth recommendations? What percentage come from direct publicity? Do you have these numbers or an idea?
Not the exact numbers, but I think of that so many times. And it's funny because when I invest in publicity, uh, no matter in what type of publicity, but in social media, I realize that there are like more interactions, more likes, more comments. But when someone, one of my clients, posts a story of the product, and they say like, "Thanks, Sneakers Jam is the name of my page." So thanks, Sneakers Jam, and publish a picture of his or her sneakers, I realized that I can get more followers from that story than investing money on social media.
Yep.
Well, that's a fantastic finding
Yeah,
because yeah, that gives you a lot of positive information. You notice then that a positive feedback brings more clients or likes than other means. And this is a great finding. What do you think of
yeah,
this, Mitch? Before we go,
Mm, it's like, uh, as I said, we have to analyze really good the public, the target public that we want to reach, and how they interact and some things. Not only if with own publicity, we have to make at the first we saw some alliances to make us grow, and it's like a indirect team that the other part of the alliance know about another sector of the same target of public that we want to reach, but we are not too so easily to reach to them, and then they help us and really benefit that to us.
absolutely, very, very true. Well, I am very delighted. I'm very happy because of the good understanding that you have of this, that you're getting lots of experience, that you're getting lots of knowledge and practical experience, and this can only be on your benefit. So I'm very happy about this, and that's the whole idea, right? That it works on your benefit on many, many, many ways, not only the commercial aspect, but that's also very, very good. Okay, Mitch, Mickey, um, when do you think we should have the next session?
will be on
When do you
Sunday,
think we can
teacher.
have it? Sunday morning, like 8 or 8:30. What is better for you guys? If it's 8, it's fine. If it's 8:30, it's okay with me.
8:30 or no? I don't know, Mika. I don't care.
What
Probably at 8 is okay, teacher. To finish
8
at
o'clock?
9 and then go for breakfast. Yeah,
Good.
it's a good hour for me.
Good time. Okay, very good. So let me put here classes, Mitch. So class on Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. And okay, very good. Any other comment that you guys want to make, Mitch, Mickey, on the topic of today? Some concluding words, things that you found interesting, useful, or applicable that you can apply in something in your business, in your life. What did you find interesting today, Mickey, Mitch?
Which first?
I really enjoy all of this stuff about marketing or how to interact with people, how to reach them in publicity. And well, I really want to do a degree about that. And well, I really like this thing.
That's very nice, Mitch. Thank you very much. How about you, Mickey? You have been working in trade for I don't know 1, 2, 3 years. I don't know how long, but you have had some experience on the topic, practical experience, and of course you also have the conceptual knowledge and education on this topic. What do you think about it? You have a lot of experience in this. Where can you grow? What can you do better? How can you benefit from additional self study?
Mm, yeah, of course. I have time. I have a little long time doing this, and and I always say is that every day I learn something new because uh, there are always like cases that are things that I never expect, and something happens, you know. So I think that it's necessary to keep in mind all the factors that could make that, in this case, that a sale could happen or not, and all the aspects that we said, you know, like be transparent with the client to create trust with people, not only to sell but to try to create a new friendship or to meet someone. I think that first of all you need to create like this trust between he or between her or between the group of people that you're meeting. So I think that is necessary and is something really good to do.
Okay. Can I recommend uh, a book by Zig Ziglar, which is called The Art of Closing the Sale by Zig Ziglar. He's a great author, and the book is fantastic. And one of the things that I like about this book is one of the phrases that says that the test of the integrity of a salesman, more or less, is his or her conviction that what he or she is selling is to your benefit. In other words, the test of integrity of a person or a salesman is that he's convinced that what he's trying to sell you is for your benefit. If he's trying to sell you something that he internally knows that is not going to be beneficial,
Mm.
Uh, like went out, I think so. The power went out.
Pues yo me voy a salir.
I see you soon, Care.